I'd just like to come on and have a chat with you. On a Friday, if I'm off work, I come and have a chat about mindset and everything like that. So today I want to talk about the subconscious mind, and I was doing a little bit of input at work this week about the subconscious mind and how powerful it is and how it works automatically without you even doing anything. So one of the things that I was thinking about this is anyone, if you drive a car, so if you drive a car and you've had that situation where you've got home and you think, how on earth did I get home? I don't even remember driving home. I don't remember how I got home. That is the subconscious mind in power. So that moment when you think, how have I got home? I don't even remember. I don't remember driving home. I remember getting in the car. I remember getting out of the car, but I don't remember the drive. Because when you go to and from work, or you go to a place that you go regularly, your mind will remember that journey. So that will be input in your mind. And then you will get to that location and you will think that you haven't even thought about that, but your mind has thought about every part of that journey. They know exactly where they're going, but because you do it on a regular basis, that has been imprinted in your mind. So that's a bit like what the subconscious mind is. So if that's going at play, for example, when you're driving a car, when on a journey that you do on a regular basis, imagine how that plays out in day-to-day life. So there are things that you've learned from when you were very young, and you've grown up going through life with this subconsciousness in your brain, and you don't even have to think about it. So there's lots of things in life that you do that you don't even think about. And that's what the subconscious mind is. So that's at play even when you're not thinking. So if, say, you go into a room and you meet new people, your brain will do subconsciously things without you even thinking about it. And this is what I help you do. I help you start being conscious of what your subconscious mind is doing. So you start to be aware of those things, those little things that you're doing, that once you realise that you're doing them, you can combat it. And it takes questioning it. So if anyone heard of unconscious bias, so that's when you have a view of somebody and it's something that's in your mind and you're not actually aware that you've got that view, because you've grown up thinking that that's acceptable to think that and feel that, and it's just stuff that you've grown up being taught by your parents, by society, and you will have, when you go somewhere and you go in a room of people, you will have an opinion of everybody in that room without maybe even knowing that you have that opinion of those people in that room. And that is your subconscious mind that will filter that opinion of those people when you go into that room. And you won't even be aware that you do it. It will be like an automatic thing. They say, like, it only takes a few seconds for you to get an opinion of somebody through the way they talk, their body language. Like, most of the conversation is body language. And you would have grown up with opinions of certain people without even being conscious of it. And it's not until you become conscious of what you think and what you feel that you can start questioning how you, like, your views of people and how you think of people. And that is what the unconscious, like, you're not aware of your views of people until you become aware of it. So it's like a bias, and this is what I'm talking about in here. It's about your life that you live, and you don't even know that you've got these thoughts and these feelings because they're so in you that you're not even aware that you're thinking that and you're feeling that. You think that that is okay to feel that way, and that's how everybody feels, and that's what everyone does. But sometimes what you think and what you feel, once you question that, you can then change it. So until you start questioning your thoughts and your feelings, you can't change how you feel, because it is something that's going in your brain. I spoke about this in my last live, that between the age of 1 and 7 is where you build your views, your beliefs, your values, and you will then go through life with those same beliefs and those same values, and until you question it and you break it down, you won't be able to change those views and those feelings. So that's why a lot of people, where am I going with this? So thanks for all the likes. I haven't said it because I'm on a bit of a tangent. So this is how you break it down. You become conscious of your unconscious, subconscious, and you become conscious of it, and then that's how you change how you feel, how you think, what you say. And it is possible to go, because I would never have done a live like this. Just a little bit about my past. I was very like, I didn't really do well in groups. I would come on this, I would be really embarrassed, I wouldn't be able to do it, my hands would sweat, I had a really, really low opinion of myself, I would think certain things about people and what they were thinking of me. And this is all stuff that I had grown up thinking and feeling and everything like that. And it is possible to change it. I'm not saying it happens overnight. I'm not saying like you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm going to think differently. Like I talk about this all the time, like the affirmations. Like people think you can do an affirmation and it changes everything. Saying an affirmation to yourself every day is going to get you in a positive frame of mind, but it's not going to change your subconscious feelings, thoughts. To change the subconscious feelings and thoughts, you really, really have to dig deep, and you have to question them, and you have to write it down, and you have to find the evidence to and for it. And in my last live, I was talking about when you have an incident where you worry about what you're thinking and what you're feeling, you write it down and you question it and you say, is that correct? What evidence have I got for that? What evidence have I got against that? Where can we go with this? And that's what you do with it, and that's how you start changing the subconscious mind, which will be running without you even thinking about it. Like how many things, like for instance, this is an example of your mind working without you think. So say you're sitting down or you're standing up, where are you sitting? What are you sitting on? How does that feel? Like until I made you aware of that you, like you're sitting on a chair, I can now feel the chair. Before I was made aware of that, I didn't think about the fact my bum could feel the chair, and that's how it runs. It is running all the time in the background. Your mind is doing all these things, thinking all these things, and you don't even know that your mind is thinking that, because until you make yourself aware of that, you're not aware of it. You're like I lean back, I can feel the chair on my back, I can feel the chair like on my floor, I can feel my feet on the floor. But until someone makes you aware of that feeling, you don't even know that that's happening. You wouldn't even know. And that's why I don't know if you drive, you understand, like the whole driving, not getting to your next destination, and then not even knowing how you got there. Like obviously if you're going on a new journey, there are automatic things like when you first learn to drive, like the whole changing of the gears, the putting your foot down, like you really have to think about it. But as you drive for longer, that all becomes second nature. You don't even think, like I drive along, I don't even think about changing the gears, because I've done it for so long, it's in my mind and I don't have to think about it. That's why when you have a new experience, it can be really hard. Like if it's something that you're not used to doing, it can be really hard for your mind to go on a new experience. And that's why when you start a new job, for the first few months it'll be really hard, and then when you've done that job for a while, you do it really well and you're like, oh gosh, like, and then you go to a new job and it's really hard again, because your brain isn't on autopilot. Your brain goes on a lot of autopilot, and it just works. It just works without you being aware of a lot of things that you do. Like for instance, the thing like if has anyone ever got food and you're eating and you think, oh, where did the food come from? Because you've just done it subconsciously. You've got up, you make breakfast, like a pattern. So like for instance, I have to take, because of my ulcer colitis, I have to take a lot of tablets in the morning, and I'm very good at that because it's the same day. Every day I take the same tablets and I don't forget, because it's become a habit. Because if you do something every day, it then becomes a habit. But when you first start that habit, it's really hard. Like when you first like, oh, I've got to do this, like I've got to take this medication in the morning. When you first start, it's really hard. But then say you've had that medication for a year, after a year, you're just going to remember. It's just going to be automatic. You're going to be like out and go, did I take my medication? Yeah, I took my medication. And you won't even think about it. But when you first start doing something, it's your brain has to go into action. And that's why when you first try to start changing your mindset, it's really hard. But the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit. Like for instance, if you do fitness, when you first start doing fitness, it's really hard. It's really hard to get up in the morning and go for a run, or do this and do that. But once you start doing it and you get fitter, it then becomes your lifestyle. You then do that on a regular basis. You then don't want to miss. Like I used to, you're probably not looking at me now, but I used to do a lot of running. And if I didn't go for a run, I would think, oh no, I haven't been for a run. Oh no, it's the end of the world. Because my body was so in the habit of going for a run that without a run, it couldn't cope. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you first start changing something, you first start doing something very differently, it can be really hard to get in a habit. But eventually your brain will remember that. But there's lots of things that are going along in the past, from your growing up, from your things like that, that play out in your mind as a habit, and they go around and around and around and around to my arms, around and around. And you are not even aware that this is playing out. You are not even aware that you have these thoughts, these feelings, because they've been instilled in you for such a long time that it will just be something that automatically, like, you can go into a room and you'll see someone and you will have an opinion of someone just from experiences that you've had, and you won't even be aware that that is happening. And this is what we need to be more aware of. We need to be aware of the thoughts and the feelings in our mind that are playing out in our mind and going forward, and we're not even aware of them. So it's not easy to become aware of these things, like, but what you've got to do is you've got to argue it. When a thought or a feeling comes through in your mind, you've got to try and argue that feeling and look for the things that say, actually, this is correct. This is actually correct. Or maybe you think and feel something and then you say to yourself, no, that's not right. That isn't right. That is not what is happening. Like, this is just my subconscious mind telling me these things and doing this and doing that. And look this up. Like, if you're interested in all this, it's really like interesting stuff. Like, I didn't realise how much of what we do is on an automatic basis. Like, how much of what we do is just auto. Like, we don't even think about a lot of what we do. We don't even think about it. And that's your mind. It will just do it automatically. Like, if we actually thought about every little thing that we had to do, if we thought about breathing, if we thought about our blood, like, how many people think about your blood pumping around your body? Like, how many of us, our body does that and we don't even know. We don't even have to do anything. It just does it automatically. Like, you don't get up in the morning and go, oh, I've got to make sure my blood's like going around my body. Like, your body's doing that and your mind is involved in all that process. But if you thought about that, if you thought about your blood going around your body, if you thought about, oh, I've got to blink my eyes, or if you thought about, like, oh, what have I got to do when I'm talking, if that was all in your forefront and you thought about that constantly, it wouldn't work, would it? You'd have like a major breakdown. And yeah, so that the opposite unconscious mind is so powerful. When you really start digging deep on how much of our bodies and how much we think is like an automatic process, it can really like be like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy how this like all works. Oh, why is that not working? Yeah, it's like really crazy how it all like works and everything. So yeah, so that's the subconscious mind and how it plays out. I just wanted to come on and share a little bit about how it works without you even thinking about it. It's just at play constantly, and it has such an effect on your life and how you feel and how you think. And that is the first thing you need to do. You need to start questioning these automatic responses, like, why am I behaving like this? What has happened? What is this? What is that? What is this? And it will move further forward if you start questioning how you feel and how you think, and the good evidence and the bad evidence for how that is helping you or hindering you. If it's hindering you, we need to look at a different way of working. Like I said, just saying a few affirmations to yourself will make you feel good in the moment, but that is not going to have long-lasting change. This is about digging deep and finding long-lasting solutions to yourself will make you feel good in the moment, but that is not going to have long-lasting change. This is about digging deep and finding long-lasting change. So yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you today about the subconscious mind. I will be resharing this as a video on my page, so you can come and have a look at it in your own time. I do share the big chunks that actually share like quite a bit of information about what was my main point of what I was sharing. So the main point of what I was sharing in this one is that your mind will work without you even knowing that it is working, and that is why we do things without even thinking, and that is sort of what I'm getting at, is that a lot of what we feel and think, we don't actually aware that we've got that from like stuff that's happened before. Yeah, so today I'm going to talk a bit about like goals. I want to leave you with something to work with. So what are you going to do today to achieve your goal? What are you actually going to do today to achieve a goal? So you've got a goal, something you want to do, something you want to change. What can you do today? Not tomorrow, not yesterday, not next week. What can you do today to achieve that goal that you want? Tell me how you're going to make this goal a reality. So you've got a goal, you want to achieve it. What are you going to do today to work towards that? And what are you going to do to make this goal a reality? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is the likelihood of your plan succeeding? So write down on a bit of paper, what is the likelihood of your plan succeeding? What would it take to get that to a 10? So what would it take to get that goal that you're going to achieve it to a 10? What are 3 actions? So 3 actions you can take that would make sense this week. So what are actually 3 actions that you can do this week that are going to make sense, that you can do to go towards your goal? And what is the single most important thing you need to do to move forward today? So what do you need to do today, now, not tomorrow, not next week, not the last week behind? What is it today that you've got to do to move forward towards your goal? And what actionable step do you need to take to ensure you're successful with this goal? So what can you do that's actionable that will help you move towards your goal? So they are some questions that will help you move forward. I'll go through them again. So actionable steps that you can take today are: what are you going to do today to achieve your goal? Tell me how you're going to make this goal a reality. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is the likelihood of your plan succeeding? What would it take to make it to a 10? What are 3 actions you can take that would make sense this week? What is the single most important thing you need to do to move forward today? And what actionable step do you need to take to ensure you're successful with this goal? And that's what I'm going to leave you with. There's some really good questions about if you've got a goal or something you want to do that can help you go towards your goal. So thank you for joining me. I am leaving now. I just come on a Friday when I'm not at work, just to have a little bit of a chat about things we can do to change our whole view, our mindset and everything like that. And I hope that has helped you. Like I said, I will reshare some of the bits from this live onto my wall so you can watch it in slow time. But thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it, and I will see you again soon.